typically start off our spray tans is how we have it set up right over here. We lay some towels, we take the bench that's usually in the shower and lay it down. This is a nice little prepping area for us to work with. Over here, usually we'll pull out for the clients a towel, just an extra towel for their hands if while they're lotioning, they just need extra towels just to wipe off a little extra lotion, or throughout the process of the tan if they need it because they have a little drip somewhere. It's always nice to have a towel handy. I always offer clients disposable underwear. As far as comfort of how they want to get undressed, it's up to the client completely. We offer disposable underwear. Sometimes clients wear their own underwear. Sometimes, like in the case of a model, they come wearing a bathing suit. It's to whatever their comfort level is, but always offer them disposable underwear. Some people choose to spray tan their face. Some people do not. Some people are concerned with the smell of the spray tan, and so we always offer, most people don't usually take this, but we always have it available for them, a face mask that they can wear during the process of a tan. I always explain to our clients that it is a sugar-based tan, so they shouldn't have any issues with inhalation and having any issues with lung issues after a tan, but it's always nice to offer that to them should they need this. Barrier, we have a barrier. It's a Saint Tropez lotion. When it starts to get low, make sure you let Maggie know so she can order another one because Saint Tropez orders don't come in very quickly, so make sure she knows. Always leave this out for the client. I usually tell people start from the bottom and kind of work their way up. They want a lotion pretty liberally on the tops of their toes, between their toes, around the perimeter of their feet, the heels of their feet, on their knees, on their elbows, on the tops of their fingers, between their fingers, and pretty heavily on the bottoms of their palms of their hands. I usually have it set up on the spray tan machine on top of a towel just because of vibration, noise issues. It's nice to kind of have it propped up and set up right here. When it comes to actually starting your tan, one of the first questions I always ask the client is, are they wearing any lotion? Are they wearing any deodorant? Are they wearing any creams? Anything that they need to have wiped off? Did they shave? Did they exfoliate prior to having their spray tan? If they have any lotions or deodorant on, they need to be given a steam towel just to kind of give them a wipe down. Sometimes a cleanser for their face if they want to tan their face and they're wearing makeup. And then the last question I usually ask them before we do the tan is how dark they want to be during their tan. You know, like how Saint Tropez tans work, doing more passes doesn't necessarily make the tan any darker. If anything, you have to be careful because you might end up with somebody who looks orange and nobody wants to be orange. So I always ask people how tan you want to be because it can be a range of how tan people want to be. I have some people who will tell me they want to be really lightly tan and some people who want to be fairly dark when they're tan. If they want to be fairly light, I do quicker strokes and I do it a little bit further away. Still always do 2 passes. If they want to be darker, slower strokes, a little bit closer as a distance, but no more than max than 2 passes of the tan when you're doing the tan. So once you have all those questions answered and set and situated, you're ready to do your tan. All right, when your clients first come in for their spray tan, you kind of want to go over a couple of steps with them. You want to make sure that they showered and shaved and exfoliated at least the day before, if not the morning of. Make sure that they don't have any lotion on their bodies, any deodorant on, because these are all things that are going to affect the spray tan when they have it done. Ask the client if they need to wash their face beforehand, should they want to tan their face and they need to remove their makeup. And then if everything's good, then you can start with the process of the barriers. I usually tell my clients to start from the bottom up. That way it's just easier to apply the spray tan, or for them to apply their lotion for their barrier. So usually I have them do the tops of their toenails, in between their toes, the perimeter of the bottom of their feet, the backs of their heels, the knee areas, the elbows. So often when people come in, I always make sure I ask them how dark do they want their spray tan to be. Saint Tropez only has one set color that we use to do our spray tans. So if somebody's base is a little bit darker, they're naturally always going to be a little bit darker than somebody who's fairer in complexion when they come in. So I always kind of set them up and let them have that kind of an expectation. If they want to have a lighter tan, what I usually will do is I will do still 2 passes over the entire body because you want to make sure you hit every single area. But I do quicker strokes and I do them a little bit further away. If somebody comes in and they want to be very dark, Then you want to do slower strokes closer to the body is how you usually want to do it. And then again, give people realistic expectations that they're super fair, they're not going to be super dark. They can get to that point if they progressively build their tan. With Saint-Tropez, you never want to do more than 2 passes of their tan, because if you go over 2 passes, well, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to end up with an orange tan and not necessarily a darker tan. So when you do a Saint-Tropez tan, only do 2 passes over the entire body. Setting up for a Saint-Tropez tan, how we have it currently set up in our shower system is we have 2 filters. You can either put them side by side if that works best for you, or these filters were built for stacking purposes, so you can stack them one on top of the other like I have right here. Over here is where you kind of have your little setup for your client. I have a hair bonnet the client's going to always put on their hair and make sure they don't walk out with this on their hair, because that's not fun. We always offer disposable underwear. A lot of times people come wearing their own underwear. Sometimes people come wearing a bathing suit. Sometimes people just don't want to wear anything. It's to whatever the client is most comfortable is what you can have them undress to, but we always offer this for them should they decide they want to wear the disposable underwear. I also have right here a face mask. Even though Saint-Tropez is a sugar base and isn't harmful to the lungs at all, some people don't like the smell of a spray tan, so I always offer them a face mask should they ever want to use this. We have this readily available for them right here. And then also a little spare extra towel, just in case you need it for anything. You have a little extra dripping. If they want to use it for the hands, they use too much lotion in a specific area, they can use this to pat the area dry a little bit. And then of course your barrier cream. We have our Saint-Tropez barrier cream. When this bottle starts to get low, make sure you let Maggie know when it's probably about halfway down, just so she can order it, just so we don't run out of this, because it does take a little while for our Saint-Tropez orders to come in. And then of course we have our unit right here. I always prop it up on top of a towel right here, just so to help with vibration, any extra noise that we might have. It just kind of helps buffer that a little bit. So we got that right there.
Okay, so the tan that I'm going to be demonstrating is going to come out of a darker tan, because I'm going to be overly exaggerated in the way I'm spraying so that it's easier for you to see the direction I'm spraying and how I'm applying the product. So her tan will come out darker. If you move quicker and back away a little bit more, then it'll be a lighter tan.
So after, as you can see, after her spray tan, she has a nice before and after and the difference of her tan from just doing 2 passes of the Saint Tropez tan. It's not necessary, and this is a perfect example of why you don't need to do more than 2 passes of the Saint Tropez tan, because of the very dramatic difference between her before and her after. So again, with this tan, never go over more than 2 passes because you might end up with an orange client, and that's never cute. So once her tan is done, she's nice and golden and ready to go. You can have her proceed to go get dressed from here. Make sure she takes off her shower cap, because we have had clients walk out with their shower cap still on their head. The things I advise my clients as soon as they're done with their tan, sometimes you have to remind them of these facts every time that they come in, even if they have had spray tans before. Keep your spray tan on for the question is, how long do you have to keep it on before you can shower it off? 8 to 12 hours is recommended to keep your tan on till it completely finishes processing. And even then, after they shower, I tell people give it a solid 18 hours before they proceed to jump into a pool, a jacuzzi, anything that might compromise their tan at all, just because it can still develop and get progressively a little bit darker over the next 18 hours post their tan. So that is my recommendation usually to them when they leave here. And the more you moisturize, the big thing I always tell people, how long is this gonna last? Anywhere from 7 to 14 days. If they shower excessively, if they're going in hot tubs and jacuzzis and swimming pools, this is gonna fade a little bit quicker. If they, how often they shower will kind of also affect how quickly their spray tan is gonna fade off. If they're a person who's in a lot of pools or showering multiple times a day and daily, most likely this tan is gonna last them about a week. If they're avoiding spas and jacuzzis and pools and maybe showering every other day, you can probably stretch this tan to about 14 days. And you'll have a nice even tan. And if the longer they want it to last, make sure you just moisturize daily over and over, and it will help prolong the tan's life from there. Okay, when setting up for your Saint Tropez tan, make sure you are setting up a trail of towels, not just for you, but for your clients as well, because this product, after it's been sprayed, can be very slippery, and we're dealing with water afterwards when we're doing our cleanup using the shower head. So what we usually do, we'll set up a couple towels right here, not just for the client to stand on, but just to go from the rubber mat to the little mat we have right here. And then also from there, we make a trail of towels going out of the shower to, again, avoid any slippage or any accidents from happening. So when you're done doing your tan, make sure, this is something we have to make sure we do every single time you use a tan, wipe down not only the tops of the filters, it's a good idea to also probably wipe down the front of the filters, the side of the filters, and especially the bottom of the filters. Because when we're taking these and putting them back into the cabinets where they belong, if there's still tan solution on top, on the sides, on the front, or on the bottom, it's gonna make for a big, gross, sticky mess. So please, when putting away and disassembling your filters, make sure you're wiping down the whole unit before putting it away. This is the glass cleaner that we use to wipe down all the machines, wipe down the showers, wipe down the counters after using the tan machine. This is always supposed to be a diluted, concentrated solution. It's a 10-to-1 ratio. So if you're ever the person who has to fill this, make sure in this big bottle we have right here is the glass cleaner. It's a 10-to-1. So just fill the bottom of the spray bottle right here where it says 10-to-1 with a blue glass cleaner, and the rest fill up with water, because this is very concentrated by itself.